I have a bad relationship with one of my students, and pulling them aside for a moment of genuine connection doesn't feel very safe. What do I do then? We're going to take care of this serious problem in the video today. I'm glad that you're here and that you're asking this hard question. I'm Dave Stewart, high school teacher, author of the book, The Will to Learn, and let's just get into it. Okay, so first of all, before I go on, if you have a student whom you're feeling unsafe with, I would never advocate for you to do something that doesn't make you feel safe. If you feel unsafe, you should talk to somebody, you should talk to colleagues, your boss, and figure out what needs to happen so that you can be experiencing safety. I want that for you, and I want that for your student. With that said, if it's not quite that extreme of a situation, but more you're just afraid it's a sunken ship at this point. The relationship with the kid is very bad, and it's only going to get worse through you doing an MGC. If that's the situation that you're in, then in that case, I think what you want to explore is repair. You want to try to identify where did this relationship go awry, and then you want to do what's in your power to repair it. You can't do anything to make the student repair it, but you as a professional, you're going to seek to repair it. So I'm just going to tell you a story that shows how all teachers have to do this. In this case, this teacher had to do this not so long ago. We're going to call this student Angela. I remember one day realizing that Angela's affect in my class had changed. She was not as bright and talkative as she used to be, and when I called on her after Think, Pair, Share, it was almost like I could feel an iciness coming from her towards me. So in this type of situation, I'm sensing that the relationship has changed, not for the better, and I just want to try to make sure that if there's something that I can resolve right there, I do so as quickly as possible. So during an independent work portion of the lesson that day, I pulled Angela out into the hallway and I said, "Hey Angela, how are you doing? I might be crazy here, but I noticed that it seems like there's some tension between you and me, like maybe you're unhappy, and I just want to check to see if there's anything that I've done to make you feel uncomfortable or heaven forbid, offend you, or just make you feel like you're not welcome in my class. Is there anything like that going on?" And Angela basically said to me, "No, there's nothing like that." She seemed quite short in her remarks, and still I felt this sort of iciness. But I said, "Okay, Angela, thank you, and please, if there is ever anything that I can do to make your experience better in my class, let me know." So I sent Angela back in, and just kind of perplexed. I wasn't sure what to do. Sometimes this is how it goes, and sometimes just that act is enough to start to see an improvement in a relationship. Well, as this story turned out, Angela's counselor called me later in the day and said, "Hey, I'm Angela's counselor. I've been working with Angela, and Angela let me know that she's very angry at you because of an experience the other day she had in your class." So at this point, my pulse was kind of increasing. I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I do? Not a good call to get. And basically, it had been a brief interaction at the start of class where the students were working independently, and I came up next to Angela's desk and I quietly talked to her about some absences that she had had recently. And I asked her if she needed any help getting caught up with anything in the class. Well, to Angela, this was very embarrassing. And from her perspective, I was very loud talking about this, and so she felt like she was being publicly shamed for being gone so much. This type of thing can happen. It wasn't ill-intended on my part, but intentions are only a very small part of the relationship. So in this case, I made a student feel humiliated. I made her feel publicly shamed, and as a result, she was really having a hard time being in my presence. She felt like I was really not a nice guy, like I was an unsafe person. I asked the counselor if I could talk about this with Angela the next day, and the counselor said, yep, she thought that would be fine. So I did pull Angela aside the other day, and I said, "Hey, your counselor talked to me, and I'm really glad that she did, because I never want you to feel shamed or embarrassed in my class, but it sounds like I did that. So I want to ask if you forgive me, because that's not what I'm about, and no matter what, it's not okay that you felt publicly embarrassed. Please consider forgiving me, Angela, if you can, and just want you to know that I'm still glad that you're in my class. I'm really glad that your counselor called." So there you go. Brief little interaction. And sure enough, Angela did kind of open up there. She said, "Yeah, I really was embarrassed. Didn't know how to talk to you about it the other day when you pulled me out. I'm glad you pulled me out the other day. Appreciate you trying, but I was just really upset." So, in other words, what took place is we repaired. We repaired. Our relationship had experienced a fracture, and we really quite quickly repaired it. But to me, it was just a regular thing that happens. No matter how hard I try, no matter how well intentioned I am, how careful I am, I interact with students thousands of times per week. When you look at the hundreds of students that I have daily interactions with, and you multiply that over the course of a week, it's thousands of interactions. Okay, I don't care how good you are inevitably going to offend somebody. You're going to make somebody feel embarrassed or somebody feel uncomfortable. And what's important there is just to, when you become aware of it or when you begin to sense it, just do your due diligence to try to repair the relationship. That's what you do. And you use lines like, I'm really glad that you're in my class. I never want anyone to feel uncomfortable in my class. I'm never out to offend or shame anyone. I don't find any value in those behaviors. And I can say that authentically because I truly don't. I do not find educational value in public shame, in humiliation, in offending people. I want in my class the discomfort to come from how hard and challenging the work that we're doing is. That's where I want the discomfort to be. It's my students and I, locked arm in arm, trying to climb this mountain together. So I don't want interpersonal friction coming, especially just because of something that I did in like oversight or made a mistake or was clumsy or whatever. I hope this helps. This is a little bit of a heavier topic, but I think a very important topic. Relational repair is a learnable, improvable skill, and I think it's a critical skill if you're going to have max credibility as a teacher. And as we know, credibility is very, very foundational to a well-motivated student. All right, have a good rest of your day, colleague, and I hope that you're well.